How to be so productive it feels illegal. They'll say you're cheating, that it's not fair how much you're getting done, how fast you're moving, how calm you look while the world spins in chaos. Because the truth is, once you understand how to structure your focus, eliminate distractions, and control your environment, you start bending reality in your favor. And it feels almost illegal. We've been sold a lie. That success is about hustle, long hours, and burning out to prove you want it. But what if I told you the most productive people aren't working more, they're working clean, with clarity, deep work, and units of time so focused that their rendimento per hora leaves the average person 10 steps behind before lunch. This video isn't for the busy, it's for the builders. For those who are done drowning in notifications, half-finished tasks, and shiny object syndrome. What you're about to hear isn't motivational fluff. It's the blueprint, the raw, structured, mentally disciplined system to make you so effective, so locked in, that people will think you have some unfair advantage. And maybe you do, after today. Eliminate distractions for real. You see, the path to exceptional productivity begins not with adding more to your day, but by subtracting. Remove. Strip it down. What most call workspaces are, in truth, distraction arenas. If you want focus, build a battlefield for your mind where there's nothing left but the mission. No glowing phone screen in the corner. No playful post-its. Just a deliberately boring, intentionally sterile space. An environment so dull, so undistracting, that your only choice is to do the work. But why go that far? Because excellence doesn't thrive in comfort. It flourishes in constraint. The most productive people you know don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. Systems that eliminate distractions before they ever reach the front door. This isn't just about muting notifications. It's about creating an environment controlled by purpose. A place where distractions can't even breathe. Imagine putting your phone not just on silent, but in another wing of the building. That's not extreme. That's freedom. And here's the paradox. The more sterile your environment, the more fertile your mind becomes. It's only when the noise dies that your thoughts get loud. I've seen million-dollar ideas born in rooms without windows, because when there's no way out, the only way is in. Into your work, into your vision, into deep work. But we're just getting started, because a controlled environment is only half the formula. The real power kicks in when you add intelligent structure to your time. Controlled environment. A productive life isn't built in chaos. It's engineered in control. The most powerful creators of our time didn't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect playlist. They designed predictable systems that triggered predictable results. Picture a room with no natural light, not because it's depressing, but because it removes the subtle seduction of watching clouds drift or sunlight shift. It's an environment where the only stimulation is progress. Let's talk about silence. Not the quiet of a coffee shop or the gentle hum of a home office. I mean silence absolute. We're talking earplugs in, headphones over, no music, no background noise, just the hum of your mind at full throttle. Because when you train your brain to work without needing stimulation, you awaken fierce clarity. And clarity is a weapon. You don't need ambience, you need control. And then there's the gatekeeper of all distraction, your phone. It's not enough to put it on, do not disturb. You need a cell phone blocker, a digital lock on your attention. Imagine this. The only way to unfreeze your phone is to walk across the building. By the time you get there, the craving to check Instagram has already died. That's not punishment, that's liberation. And once you've built this fortress of focus, the next question is, what do you do with the time you've created? The productivity technique. Productivity is not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things, the right way, in the right time. And time is your most loyal ally or your cruelest enemy. That's why we don't start our day vague. We start with clarity in the task. Know exactly what you need to do before you ever sit down. When your purpose is clear, distractions have nowhere to hide. Then, we give time a shape, a limit, a mission. The humble kitchen timer becomes a sword in your arsenal. Set it. 25 minutes. 45 minutes. You decide. But once it's ticking, the game begins. You'll be shocked what happens to your output when your brain knows the finish line. It's not about endless hours. It's about units of productive time. 1 unit of deep work, fully focused, can outperform 3 days of scattered effort. And what you'll feel is almost illegal, like you're bending the laws of time. Because when you eliminate distractions, enforce a controlled environment, and stack your schedule with focused sprints, your rendimento per hora skyrockets. You become dangerous in the best way possible. But now, you might be wondering, is this just a personal method, or does science back this up? Science or personal opinion? Some folks might say, well, that sounds intense. But is this really backed by science, or is it just your way? And the answer is both. See, the beauty of productivity lies in personalization. What works for one may not work for another, but one truth remains universal. When you eliminate distractions, you amplify output. Whether it's backed by studies or born from sweat and experience, it works. And when something works, it's worth paying attention to. Now, sure, if sunlight fuels your energy, keep it. If silence feels heavy, adapt. Productivity isn't a prison, it's a playground. But be honest with yourself. Are you keeping the sunlight because it energizes you? Or because it gives you an excuse to stare out the window for 10 minutes at a time? The key isn't to follow someone else's rulebook. It's to identify what steals your time and cut it off at the root. Remember, your brain is a battlefield. You win not by adding more hacks, but by deleting everything that drags you off course. It's not about discipline, it's about design. Design your life in a way that distraction becomes impossible. That's where the game changes. And once you get clear on that, you'll begin to understand the powerful relationship between distraction and rest, a distinction most people get terribly wrong. The difference between distraction and rest. Now here's a secret no one talks about. Not all breaks are created equal. Rest is not scrolling your feed. Rest is not mindlessly watching videos until your brain turns to mush. Rest, real rest, is intentional recovery. It's a reset mental, not a retreat. A walk around the block, a breath of fresh air, a glass of water with your phone still in the other room. That's the kind of descanso attivo that renews your mind and doubles your energy. The best performers don't push harder, they recover better. They understand rhythm. Like a sprinter who rests between sets, they give themselves space to recharge without leaving the game. Picture this, 45 minutes of foco intenso, followed by 10 minutes of movement, stretching, pacing, sunlight, silence. That's a ritmo sustentable, not burnout disguised as hustle. Your brain isn't a machine, it's a muscle. Use it, rest it, repeat. And the magic? When you rest well, you work better. Your ideas flow faster. The friction fades. You become a clean slate for creativity. This is how you maximize productivity liquida, what you truly accomplish over time. And the best part? It actually makes the work feel lighter. But there's another layer we have to peel back. What about the distractions that still find a way to sneak past your system? Distractions that still sneak in. Even in a fortress, there are cracks. And when it comes to productivity, the enemy is clever. It doesn't kick down the door, it whispers. Sometimes, it's a notification you forgot to turn off. Other times, it's a sudden urge to check your messages real quick. But when you've built an ambiente controlado, equipped with a bloqueador de cellular, and placed your phone in exile, far across the room, or even across the building, those whispers turn into silence. Some people ask, but don't you listen to music to get in the zone? Not here, not during work, not when your brain is at war for focus. Some musica, no lyrical distractions pulling your thoughts away. The only time music enters the picture is at the gym, and even then, it's the same trusted playlist, looping Linkin Park, 50 Cent, maybe a little Green Day. But for deep work, it's Silêncio absoluto. Earplugs in, headphones on, no noise, no excuses. And when you reach this level, where reads sociais, notificacos, even background noise have no place, you realize how clear your thinking becomes. You no longer waste time resisting distraction, because there's nothing left to resist. And when distraction is dead, something else begins to surface. The truth behind why so many people stay distracted. Not because they're lazy, but because of something deeper. Do distracted people want it less? It's easy to judge someone who's always distracted. We think, maybe they just don't want it bad enough. But that's not entirely fair. In truth, most people aren't lazy, they're just stuck. Stuck in patterns, stuck in zona de conforto, stuck chasing quick dopamine instead of deep purpose. They're not choosing distraction because they don't care, they're choosing it because it feels better right now. And that's a battle of biology, not character. You see, the mind is ruled by carrots and sticks, rewards and pain. If staying where you are brings more comfort than risking the unknown, you stay. Even if the dream is right there, one focused season away. That's inertia, the silent killer of progress. And unless the pain of staying the same gets bigger than the fear of changing, most people won't budge. Not because they lack desire, but because their environment rewards distraction. Here's the kicker. Those who finally move often don't do it because they're inspired. They do it because they're miserable. Because discontentamento is a powerful motivator. It lights a fire. And once that fire is burning, you begin to make decisions that feel impossible when you're still comfortable. Just ask those who broke free. Many didn't plan their leap, they were pushed. And speaking of that push, let me show you 2 stories that prove how pain can birth purpose. Motivation to become an entrepreneur. Most people assume that entrepreneurs are born with this unstoppable fire, that they've been selling lemonade since age 5 and coding apps at 12. But the truth? Many of the most successful didn't start with passion, they started with desespero. Take Alex Hormozi, for example. He wasn't some born hustler. He followed the script. Good student, studied hard, graduated early, landed the right job. On paper, perfect. But inside, dying. And sometimes, it takes that kind of quiet misery to make you take the loudest leap of your life. His story isn't unique. There's also Stephan, who started doing data entry for $8 an hour. Not because it was glamorous, but because he just wanted in. 6 weeks later, he hated it so much it shifted his whole trajectory. He tried talking to the CEO, just to be friendly, and got scolded for breaking the chain of command. That wasn't a company. That was a cage. So he broke out the only way he knew how, offering to travel hard to Graca in a new industry. He didn't wait for permission. He made a move. This is what I call empreendedorismo por necesidade. It's not sexy, but it's real. It's the kind of entrepreneurship born not from inspiration, but from escape. And escape creates urgency. When life gets uncomfortable enough, you stop looking for perfect timing and start taking imperfect action. And once you're in, the real game begins. How to start at the bottom and build your way up, brick by brick, without waiting for someone to hand you a ladder. Tips for those who want to start. If you really want to start, don't just say, "I'm willing to do anything." That sounds humble, but it's vague, and vagueness kills opportunity. Instead, look at the roles available. Get specific. Apply with intention. If a company is hiring for data entry, offer to master it. If they need customer support, step in. Come car por bikeso isn't a setback, it's strategy. And once you're inside, that's when the game really starts. Use every extra second to build leverage. Talk to people. Make lunch your secret weapon. That's where networking inner-know happens, where quiet opportunities live. Learn the systems. Offer to help where no one else is looking. Volunteer for the boring stuff. That's where your name gets remembered. Over time, your proactivity opens doors that job titles never could. The real currency isn't experience, it's relevance, and relevance is earned through service. And if no one's hiring? Perfect. That's your chance to outshine. Don't knock on the same doors everyone else is banging on. Find the empresas fora do radar, those HVAC companies, local shops, businesses too busy working to post on LinkedIn. That's where arbitragem de oportunidade lives, where your oferta de mão de obra meets their quiet demand. Show up with solutions, not just a resume. That's how you start strong, without waiting for someone to tell you you're ready. Now that you've seen what it really takes to eliminate distractions, control your environment, and master your time, the question is, what will you do with it? Will you keep letting the hours slip through your fingers? Or are you finally ready to take command of your day like your life depends on it? Because, spoiler, it does. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You need to decide. Are you going to keep reacting to life? Or will you design it? Eliminate the noise. Create silence. Block the damn phone. Set the timer. And watch what happens when you finally stop pretending to work and start doing the real thing. That's how you become so productive, it feels unfair. So I'll leave you with this. What's the one distraction you know you need to kill today? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if this message hit you in the chest, then do something with it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and keep learning how to design a life that makes average impossible.